Good evening, and welcome to Current USA Brief Tonight. The Middle East stands on the edge of what many analysts are calling a critical tipping point. Tensions between the United States and Iran are escalating rapidly, with military movements on both sides raising serious concerns about the risk of a wider conflict. Iran has placed its armed forces on high alert, while U.S. warships are moving closer to the Strait of Hormuz, one of the most strategically important waterways in the world. At the same time, reports suggest Iran is deploying submarines toward the Arabian Gulf, a move widely interpreted as a signal of heightened military readiness. Behind closed doors, developments inside Tehran point to growing fears of escalation. According to multiple sources, Iran's supreme leader has reportedly relocated to a fortified underground bunker as preparations intensify. Tonight, we break down what's happening, why it matters, and what could come next. To understand the gravity of this situation, we must first look at geography. The Strait of Hormuz is a narrow stretch of water connecting the Persian Gulf to the open ocean. Roughly 1/5 of the world's oil supply passes through this corridor every single day. Any disruption here would not just affect the region, it would send shockwaves across global energy markets. The movement of U.S. naval assets closer to this choke point is a powerful signal. American officials describe the deployment as a defensive measure aimed at ensuring freedom of navigation. Iran, however, views it as a direct provocation. Historically, even small incidents in this region have led to sharp spikes in oil prices and rising global economic anxiety. That is why the current military buildup is being watched so closely by governments and investors alike. According to regional security reports, Iran has placed significant portions of its military on high alert status. This includes naval forces and missile units positioned along its southern coastline. Perhaps most concerning is the reported deployment of Iranian submarines into the Arabian Gulf. Submarines are not typically used for signaling alone, they are strategic assets designed for stealth and deterrence. Military analysts suggest this move indicates that Iran is preparing for scenarios beyond diplomatic pressure, potentially including limited naval engagements or defensive responses to any perceived strike. Iranian state media has framed these actions as routine defensive measures, but the timing has raised eyebrows, especially as U.S. forces increase their presence nearby. While military movements unfold at sea, developments inside Iran's leadership circles suggest deep concern about what may lie ahead. Multiple sources claim that Supreme Leader Ayatollah Ali Khamenei has relocated to a fortified underground bunker. Such a move, if confirmed, would be highly unusual and symbolic of extreme caution. Reports indicate that day-to-day operations are being overseen by his son, Masoud Khamenei, as fears of a potential U.S. strike intensify. Iranian officials have not publicly confirmed these reports, but historically, leadership relocations of this nature have coincided with moments of severe national security threats. For many observers, this signals that Tehran is preparing not just for rhetoric, but for real confrontation. From Washington's perspective, the deployment of warships is being described as a deterrence strategy, not a prelude to war. U.S. defense officials argue that maintaining a visible naval presence discourages hostile actions, particularly against commercial shipping lanes and regional allies. However, history shows that deterrence can sometimes backfire. Increased military presence can be interpreted as preparation for attack, leading both sides into a dangerous cycle of escalation. So far, U.S. leadership has emphasized that it does not seek conflict, but will respond decisively to any threat against its forces or partners. The challenge, analysts say, lies in managing perception, ensuring deterrence without triggering miscalculation.